kostenfrei.
Hallo und willkommen zur Halbzeit der Saison 2020 der Rotax Max Challenge Germany auf der Procard Raceland Rennstrecke in Wackersdorf. Wir haben in den nächsten Zweiten jede Menge Rennaction für Sie alle. Dann ist es Zeit, Vollgas zu geben. Hello and welcome to the second round of the 2020 Rotax Max Challenge Germany season at Procard Raceland Circuit in Wackersdorf. So we have our first 18 races set to get underway, and Micromax kicking things off right of the meeting in their first race of the day. And the grid is as follows. In qualifying this morning, it is Macklin Pilch in the number 11 that starts on pole position, ahead of Noah Janssen in the number 30. The number 23 of Marlon Dalvo and Kenyon Washington in the number 14 rounds out the top two rows ahead of Maxime and Tom Head in the 55 and 88 as they go onto the formation. Gabriel Hoffmann in the 95, his competitor in the grid, starts on the side of row number 4 ahead of Niklas Gassau in the number 12. Alexander Klugel in the 80, Matt Schulter in the 50, Ole Glan in the 18, Christos Malakos in the 20, and Leopold Joux rounds out the third strong grid. 9 minutes for an additional lap. Red lights are ignited on the starting tree. 13 competitors entered for this week's racing festivities as they come through the turn 9-10 chicane, and it is down to Pil and Janssen to start things off. The rolling startation 2 by 2, side by side. 9 minutes on the clock are set in stone as the race director keeps an eye on the drivers make their way coming through into the turn 12 hairpin. Go over the bump that leads into the double right-hander. The field is nicely packed for the first rolling start of the day. So it's Pilch, DeSalvo, Washington, Becker, Hoffmann, Casarino, Klugel and Schner. Revs rise. Full start called. Full start called. So again, another formation lap for the drops. So coming into the weekend itself, Niklas Kassari leads the standings on 111 points, ahead of Maximilian Pilch, who is on pole position. Klugel is on place on 68 points. Gabriel Hoffmann on Kenyon Washington in place on 55 points. So the remainder of the opposition have to try and close the gap on Sarino over the next couple of days. So temperature around 18 degrees Celsius here at Wackersdorf, here in the mid part of September. We're about to get things underway well and true. Let's see if the Minimax Mike's drivers get a second start away cleanly for 9 minutes plus a lap. They now come round final couple of corners here at Wackersdorf for the first of 3 races Micromax today. Revs once again. This time it is a clean start for racing. As a good start, Noah Janssen leading the field into the first couple of corners. They head into the turn 3 right-hand sweeper. Pilch trying to go back up the inside to retake the lead through turn 4, makes the move as it's 2, nearly 4 abreast at the back part of the coming out of turn 4 for the first time. Some move up the inside. There's been a little bit of a cult incident going through into turn 6, but the leader starting to catch an advantage through the turn 9-10 chicane. So leading the way at the moment, it is the number 11, Maximilian Pilch. Then it is Noah Janssen. As Kenyon Wadman, I think, has just tried to make a move, and he's got for third place through the exit of turn number 11. We'll have some of the other drivers just behind as the top 4 be starting to break away now. around to complete lap number 1. So just under 8 minutes to go as now Washington looks for the inside, going underneath entry through into turns 2, 3. As it's line astern between 2nd, 3rd and 4th. As Janssen a little bit closer on the break. It's now Gabriel Hoffmann, who's had a really good start from 7th up to 4th, and he's sending inside of Washington through into turn 6 and makes the move cleanly. And now Maximilian Pilch still leading on lap number 2. Noah Janssen was about just over 1.5 tenths of a second behind after completion of lap 1. As that's a real good coming out of turn number 11. By in Washington, trying to close the gap on Gabriel Hoff at 95. Niklas Casarino now up into 5th place, having started 8th. Marlon Di Salvo, Alexander Kuhl, Tom Heger, Oli Glan and Maxim Becker at the top 10. Another lap complete. Pilch has a lead of 0.76 seconds over Noah Janssen, who closes through turn 3, tries to go up the inside to turn 4. Pilch shuts the door. Janssen had a return of momentum coming out underneath the tree. As Casarino has been passed by Alex Klugel for 5th place. Matthias Schulte, Chris Malakos and Leopold Jour round out the 13th. There's all 13 drivers still speculating, but from Alexander Klugel on, we've got Cabino, Di Salvo, Becker and Heger in that battle, and that is fast becoming a spy train, with Oli Glan rounding out the top 10 positions. For the race so far, Noah Janssen, a 58.518 by the number 3 on the Sony chassis. As he's closing, and with them is coming Gab Hoffmann, as Hoffmann looks towards the inside to get the good run of momentum and goes through the inside of Noah Janssen. Janssen runs through turn 4. Hoffmann gets through in second position. But the number 13 still on the back bumper of the 95. Kenyon Washington not too far away from this battle. Alexander Klugel still leads Niklas Casarino in what is the battle for 5th place. Marlon Di Salvo rounds out the top set of Maxim Becker, Tom Heger and Glan. Matthias Schulte a little bit further away from that battle by about a second. So now there has been a further change. Well, there was a further change. Well, Niklas Casarino in the meantime got back past Alexander Klugel in 5th place. As Tom Heger trying up the inside of Maxim Becker through into the penultimate corner, but can't get past. Hoff gets pressurised by Janssen going through turns 3 and 4. The 31 tries to go up the inside of the 95 through the exit of turn number 4. But Hoffmann stays resilient and is ahead as Janssen had to quickly put on the brake into turn number 6. Battle between Casarino, Hugel, Di Salvo, Heger and Becker still wages on. And it's the top 9 positions. Heger has got past Maxim Becker for 8th position. Kenyon Washington looking at an opportunity to try and get past Noah Janssen in the 31. 4 minutes and 17 seconds plus a lap still to go in this first of 3 Micro Max races. As Team Becker looks to be trying to get past on the edge and looks to have got the move done through turn 13 as the leaders cross the line, complete lap number 5. And it was Tom Heger still ahead of Maxim Becker for the minute, as it is a 3-way scrap. But now the heat has changed, and this time Gabriel Hoffmann now gets ahead of Maxim Pilch. Noah Janssen and Kenyon Washington, all 4 of them pretty much bumper to bumper as they go through the turns 9 and 10 chicane. Niklas Casarino is trying to break away from Alexander Klugel in the number 80. Pilch will now have the opportunity and the advantage of the slipstream as they go through into turns 13 and 14. Pilch runs a little bit wide to try and cut back through into the final corner. and gets onto the back bumper of the number 5 of Gabriel Hoffmann. Through into 3. Washington in the meantime has got Noah Janssen as up the inside for the lead. Gabriel Hoffmann goes. Maximilian Pilch, Kenyon Washington. If he'd had a bit more room to do it, he might have tried to get through on the 95. As up the inside goes Tom Hager and Alexander Klugel. Through into turn 6. And that is a change for 6th position, but the top 4 still battling away over the lead in what will be the eventual victory in race number 1 for Micromax. So some great battling up and down all the way through so far. So top 4 now about to combine to complete lap number 7, 2 minutes and 10, plus an additional lap still to go. Hoffmann's got a real good run of pace going through towards turn 3, and so did Washington. As now back up the inside goes Hoffmann, trying to get past Maxim Pilch. Washington nearly got through as a result of that racing altercation that saw no real attack from my perspective. The Grattel. But now starting the top 3, starting to drop Norton ever so slightly. As, the change for what's happened. So Tom Hager has got number 12 of Niklas Casarino. Casarino trying to fight back at the 88 to retake the position. Alexander Klugel has fallen behind Tom Hager in the 88, who's now up into 6th position. 1 minute and 50 seconds plus an additional lap still to go as we complete number 8. Pilch has a 3/10 of a second advantage over Gabriel Hoffmann, who clogged up and this time goes up the inside of the number to retake the lead through turn 4, but keeps it pinned through the inside of the corner, going side by side through turn 5, this time through 6. Hoffmann retakes the lead, but a switch straight away from Maximilian Pilch, who got the outside of Gabriel Hoffmann to take the lead, and as that happens, the 2 behind up very, very quickly indeed, with Washington and Noah Janssen still behind, but this is showing the chasing pack being led by Niklas Casarino to start catching them. So Maxim Becker in the meantime has got past Alexander Klugel, who is now 8th and has got the 23 Bondi Salvo not too far behind. So now go on to the 10th and penultimate lap of this race, and it's been an interesting battle so far at the front of the field. Top 4 line astern, 5th, 6th and 7th line astern, as well as it's nearly 3 abreast going into turn 4 and up the inside of Tom Hager. I think has just gone Maxim Becker, as Washington trying to go up there is Hoffmann through turn 6, and the number 14 through by the smallest of margin, but Hoffmann fights quickly to try and see if he can get past his team nice and quickly. Timer has now expired. Next time around we will get the full lap board. So Maximilian Pilch has around about a 3 to 4 car advantage over the number 14 of Kenyon Washington. The good run from Gabriel Hoffmann trying to go through out of turn 12, and he gets up the end of his teammates in the number 14 to retake in position, but Washington and Norton quickly on the back bumper. They go 3 of them are line astern as it's near 3 wide going into turn 3. Oh, that's close. Oh, that is close indeed. But they managed to get through the corner, but that is allowed upside. I think Niklas Casarino has just led to Maxim Becker, who nearly gets past by Tom Hager, who's just up behind. But this has given Maximilian Pilch the opportunity to try and keep ahead, and that has allowed him to weigh on the final lap as it was nearly 3 going into turn 3. That was brave Micromax drivers there, I must be completely honest. But towards turn 12 for the final time. The top 9 pretty much are on the same straightaway as they get the bump for the final time into turns 13 and 14. Checkered flag now being paired on the start-finish line. And take the first win of the weekend. It is Maximilian Pilch in the number 11 from C4 Race. by 0.48 seconds of Gabriel Hoffmann, who managed to get past teammate Kenyon Washington, who takes the top 3. Noah Janssen rounds out the top 4. Maxime Becker. Niklas Casarino will have to start fighting back as he finished 6th place ahead of Tom Hedger, Marlon Delvaux, Alexander Klugel, Olegan. Matthias Schulte rounds out the top, with Christos Malakos and Leopold Joux rounding out the top 13.